Welcome back to the Daily Pascast. Today, let's turn the clock back to London, September 10th, 1897. Gas lamps flicker through the fog. Ladies' bustles are the size of small sofas, and the hottest ride in town isn't a hansom pulled by a horse, but a brand new, whisper-quiet, battery-powered taxi. Yes, an electric cab, long before Elon Musk was even a twinkle in the family tree. Now picture the driver, George Smith, a 25-year-old cabby with waxed mustache and a peaked cap, rolling out of a pub after one too many and aiming his futuristic machine down Bond Street. What could go wrong? Well, everything. At 12:45 a.m. on September 10th, 1897, Smith's taxi, officially the Bursey electrical cab, nicknamed the Hummingbird because it hummed rather than clopped, mounts the curb at number 165 Bond Street and buries its solid rubber tires in the brick wall of the Royal Crescent Hotel. The impact is gentle by modern standards. He was only going maybe 10 miles an hour, but it's enough to shear the front axle, shower sparks, and dump a planter through the windscreen. A constable on a foot patrol, Constable George Boot, arrived to find Smith blinking, had askew, and in the copper's own words, smelling like a gin palace at closing time. Well, there's a bit of a problem. It's 1897. There's no such thing as a breathalyzer, no field sobriety test, no walk the line. The first drunk driving statute, Section 12 of the 1872 Licensing Act, was written for steam engines and horses, not self-propelled carriages. Boot does the only thing he can. He grabs Smith by the collar, drags him to the Savile Row police station, opens the logbook, and writes, "Driver plainly intoxicated, vehicle electric, crashed into wall." That single line becomes the first documented evidence of drunk driving anywhere on Earth. The next morning, Smith appears at the Marlborough Street Court. The magistrate, a stern ex-colonel named Sir John Bridge, has never seen a motor case. There are only a handful of automobiles in all of Britain at the time, and the law is broad. Any person well drunk in charge of any carriage. Smith pleads guilty, probably because the alternative is a humiliating parade of pub witnesses testifying how many brandies he'd downed. The fine, 20 shillings, exactly £1, or about a week's wages for a cabby. He paid on the spot. And with that, George becomes the first human in history formally convicted of a driving under the influence. Newspapers, they had a field day. The Daily Telegraph runs the headline, "Modern Progress, Electric Cab, Medieval Judgment." Punch magazine prints a cartoon of a tipsy Smith steering a lightning bolt. But the bigger ripple is legal. Within months, Parliament scrambles to update the statute. By 1904, the Motor Car Act explicitly criminalizes driving whilst under the influence of drink or drugs. Complete with license and endorsements, Smith's misadventure becomes the template for every DUI law that follows, from the 1936 drunkometer to today's infrared breath tests. As for Smith himself, he keeps driving. Yeah, they gave his license back to him, until his cab is scrapped in 1899 when the electric taxi company goes bankrupt. Turns out swapping a 1,500-pound battery pack by hand really isn't that profitable. George fades into obscurity, dying of pneumonia in 1936, never knowing he's a footnote in every traffic safety textbook. Fast forward 126 years. Every 2 minutes, someone somewhere is asked to blow into a plastic tube. The threshold numbers, 0.08 BAC in the US and 0.05 in the UK, are precise, scientific, and unforgiving. Yet it all traces back to a Victorian constable's gut instinct and a single sentence in a leather-bound log. He was drunk. So the next time you see those red and blue lights in the rearview mirror, spare a thought for George Smith, the cabbie who proved that electricity plus Alcohol plus 4 wheels equals history. Written, as always, in the fine print. Drive safe, stay curious, and remember, progress sometimes starts with a wall on Bond Street and a man who had one too many. If you like what you heard today, please subscribe to the Daily Pascast channel, hit that subscribe and like button, and ring that bell so you don't miss a beat. We'll see you tomorrow.